Well, howdy, and welcome back to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. Welcome back to the Radical Wasteland podcast. Doing well, Greg?
Happy day after Thanksgiving, everybody, for those who celebrate.
Day after Thanksgiving. You said you had a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Hung out with some friends, had a nice, my wife cooked a lot. I ate a lot. It was great, So I mostly just let her do her thing and stayed out of her way. That was about the best and smartest thing that I could do for the whole time, was just let her do her thing, So it was great.
That is understandable.
Yep.
I had my sister, my mom, my roommate's sister, my roommate's mom, and I don't think we were allowed to touch anything for most of the day. And it's probably the right move, honestly. It worked out. We got good food, good times. It was great. Oh, Monk. They're all out here. They're out with me in California right now. We're all Los Angeles Thanksgiving right now, which turns out to be a pretty good one. Went to Disneyland on Tuesday with the family. That was great. You're going soon, aren't you? To Disneyland? Are you go? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, me. Sorry, I thought you were talking to Secular Monk for some reason.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, it's also getting kind of laggy over here for some reason. I don't quite know what's going on.
Let me see if I can switch my internet before it gets too crazy.
Let me know if I'm locking up.
I'm a little screwy because I'm now outside today rather than inside.
Yeah.
Trying our best here.
Yeah, we're going down to Disneyland on Monday, as a matter of fact. So gonna do a little bit of holiday celebration. Oh, yeah? Congrats, Monk. That's awesome. Always hosting your first dinner. That's always stressful, but big triumph.
That's the most important part. As long as you triumph through it.
Part indeed.
It gives you something to be thankful for that day specifically. Yeah. Good. I'm glad people had a good Thanksgiving. That's always a fun time of year. This a fattening time of year, but a great time of year. I think there's some more things to celebrate. Before we jump into, I guess, recapping everything that's been going on as of late, especially with those first 4 episodes.
Yeah.
You are planning something fun this evening, aren't you?
Well, the funny thing is I'm not 100% sure if it's actually happening, but I'm gonna check it out in the hopes that it is. There's a tiki bar in Burbank called Broken Compass, and allegedly they're doing a Fallout theme night tonight. But it is not in it's not on their calendar, and it's not on their socials. So I might have been misinformed.
Was it just a friend of a friend kind of deal that told you, or did you see it somewhere?
No, I heard about it through Brit, actually, because Brit and Aaron are regulars over there. So,
well, maybe they're just doing something for the sake of doing it.
Maybe they're doing something for folks who are just in the know.
Are they typically good about putting things on socials, or?
I don't know. I haven't been here before. Like, this is a new spot, so. I only just heard about this pretty recently. I'm sure people have told me about it over the years, but I really only I don't drink. So most of the information about, bars and stuff like that just goes right over my head. But this time it kind of stuck because we did we did a tiki room themed escape room a couple of months ago, or back in mid-September. And, tiki bar stuff is just kind of like in our zeitgeist at the moment. Hey, Sarah. You're welcome to hop on with us if you want.
I know. I just said that. I was like, I did send a link. I just don't know if it was the right one because I have been running like a chicken with my head cut off this morning.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Just a tad. I think Peter said it right here. You both look like you're post too much food coma. Yes.
Yes.
Every yes.
Hey.
Good morning, Sarah.
Hello. I can only be on for a minute because I got to leave soon. But,
literally not a worry.
Welcome.
How was y'all's Thanksgiving?
Good. Ate too much, like everybody.
Yep.
I didn't have to cook at all, so I'm just happy about that. So.
Oh, dude, that's nice.
That's actually me either for once, and it was a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Relaxing.
I mean, I have great appreciation for the cooks on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I also am just like, this is not my bag. I just stay out of your way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Usually I have to do it, not all, but you know, it's nice when the whole family's in town because it just lets me put my hands off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Facts.
We were just talking about Greg's Brett. Is Sarah, your Brett doing good as well?
Yeah, he's the one that cooked all day yesterday, so he likes cooking. So I'm like, go for it. You know, cooking is a job for me. I mean, I'm not bad at it, but it's not like my first love or anything. You know.
Heard.
Well, you know what else I don't think is maybe your first love, but it's really enjoyable. Am I leading it in? Is it too obvious?
The Fallout?
Fallout, of course.
Yes.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, raison d'être.
Yeah.
Have you been able to watch those first 4 episodes?
Yeah, I mean, I watched them when they came out, and I just finished rewatching them. You know, the last week or so. I was actually watching some recap videos this morning to keep my memory fresh.
Yeah.
Well, shall we jump into the most important parts?
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I can't be on for long, so.
No worries. Well, Harris, what jumped out to you after rewatching 1 through 4 here?
Well, let me cough that out before I start talking.
Absolutely.
You know, you mentioned right before stream, just kind of rewatching things and seeing where you almost feel like they're leading into with season 2.
Yeah.
I was catching a lot more simple foreshadows. They did a lot of foreshadowing in the show that first catch, you know it happens, and these things happen.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really happen the way you expect it to. A case in point, I guess, just a quick one was Will Zig in that, I think, second episode, whenever they're actually walking, Lucy and him are walking.
Yeah.
They're leaving Philly at that point, and he's got his crutch on, he's got his new foot and all that, just kind of hobbling out of town. And there's the chicken man selling serums and everything. And he's like, I've got a serum for this. I've got snake oil for this, whatever he's saying, you know. And then he says, well, we also have a serum to heal your feet. Right to Will Zig. And, you know, it's almost like he heals a foot pretty spectacularly later in the season. And there's just a lot of those little instances going on that I'm catching now. And it just brings a smile to your face, but it also informs the story. And I really want to pay extra hard and extra, like, the utmost attention to the new episodes when they're coming out, because we're going to get that week by week basis rather than all at once.
Yeah.
So what can we actually theorize about? We're going to have time to theorize now. It's going to be fun. We actually get to, like, pick things apart, think about it for a week at a time. it's going to be great.
Yeah. No, I'm super excited for when the show finally drops, because we'll be doing the live watch alongs, and then we're going to have, the Friday, like recaps.
Oh yeah.
And that's plenty of time for brainstorming and theorizing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I think
I'm excited. Go for it.
Yeah. No, I think what got me was I'd forgotten which vault was which until I did the rewatch. So now seeing that they were home in 33, and in episode in the trailer, how you see all those guys in 31 jumpsuits coming out, I was like, oh no, I mean, we all know that it happens later in the season, but when you discover that that's all of fucking Vault-Tec's middle management now getting released upon the wasteland after being cryo frozen, it's like, oh shit, like that has so much more impact having watched it more recently.
There's obviously they have an agenda, but that is an entire agenda being released at once onto the wasteland. It is like the Enclave coming out of hiding for a bit. It is like the Institute being outed, and it's real. It feels like a big event in the game that we've made it to the second chapter of the game, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And another little small thing, rewatching season 1, was it just feels so much like a game. The actual wedding feels like the opening of a game. Each individual character feels like a playable character in a different sense. It drives it home so well. I don't know, we're only halfway into this rewatch so far, but damn, it's a great show. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, it's really well done, and I appreciate how faithful they were to the source material. Like the fidelity to the source material is outstanding, but also doing little new things, like doing the whole thing
Additions.
the new additions, like the projectors being used to project like the cornfields and stuff. Like you don't see that anywhere in the games, but man, that makes perfect sense that they would have some sort of space that seems to have like a wide open, idyllic Americana feel to it, you know?
That the scribes for the Knights and the Brotherhood of Steel wasn't included before, but it makes total sense. It feels like a natural progression of things. The something else just came to mind as you said that. There are just a few little small things like that just add up over time that aren't in the games that just make sense. The other one I was thinking of was kind of confirming why ghouls are such rabid drug users. No matter if they're fun, happy, go lucky kind of people, ghouls are. Thank you, Stanley. Thank you. Literally, that's what I was going for.
Yep.
Which also,
hey, Stanley.
It's just those little details that add such a rich characterization to a world that already was so rich before, that they took the painstaking time and effort to say, hey, this fits with not just the story we're trying to tell, but the last 28 years of Fallout. Was it 97, the first one?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
And they didn't go about, I mean, they definitely wrote new canon, but they didn't go about changing existing canon. I think they just tried to apply some reason to it, you know?
Monk does have a question here.
Oh,
and
that's
then
a good one.
We might segue into someone who's
Why
never played
I'm here. I'm just a pretty face.
With quite wonderful intelligence. Question from someone who hasn't seen the show and doesn't care about being spoiled. Are there things that are different from the game to the show, any in a way that significantly changes the story? I think those three things we just mentioned, while being minor, are significant changes to very constant pieces of lore that have been there for that entirety of 28 years. There are another thing, I guess, the Brotherhood of Steel, every single knight can fly now, essentially, or has the power to boost pack off their.
If it's built into their armor, they've got the ability to they've got jump jets, which is not seen in the game.
Although there are some selective ones, but not every single one.
No. I feel like that one of the big differences from the game to the show is, I mean, the muddy timeline with Shady Sands.
Yeah,
it's a lot of like timeline and lore stuff that doesn't quite, add up, but they've pretty much nailed like the weaponry, the style, the culture. They're actually being incredibly faithful to the game, I think, and I don't know. I mean, having played 4 and New Vegas and Shelter, I feel like that they've really nailed it. Like I'm still constantly impressed by the fidelity. So, and the thing is that I can't say that the show significantly changes the story. I think it's a really good continuation onto it, because right now it's set 12 years after the events of the most recent game. Well, I mean, in the timeline, so that would be Fallout 4, since 76 takes place earlier in the timeline.
Ooh, actually, you just might have given me a quick little theory about that, because we were just talking about that power armor, everybody being able to fly. It is 12 years after Fallout 4.
Yeah.
It seems like it's pretty obvious the Institute was lost, and the Brotherhood of Steel, and maybe the Minutemen. I bet you they're going to go with both of those being like winning factions, And I would assume the Railroad and Institute kind of.
Well,
for the most
part, they got to make it dire. So there's probably the Minutemen's probably still on the ropes after having
that would make sense.
driving. you know.
But if that is the case, the Brotherhood of Steel did win out east.
And that's why we got the Zeppelins coming out west, yeah.
Yeah, but did the Institute technology enable them to have the amount of Zeppelins they have now, the amount of Pridwins, the amount of the power armor? Everybody's able to fly now. We know 12 years ago, canonically, that wasn't the case. It was kind of there, but now do they have the ability with the amount of Institute tech they probably got? Because we know the Brotherhood of Steel likes to take tech.
Yeah, well, I mean, they like to take it and preserve everything, and they're the only ones responsible enough to have it. So,
but of course, right? It's a terrible wasteland out there. Well, speaking of that terrible wasteland, from a perspective that hasn't spent as much time in there.
Yeah, I don't know the lore and all. I mean, I'm familiar-ish with the game, but I don't know it like you guys do. I'm just someone here kind of as, you know, an outsider watching the show. And so far I really like it. I mean, I like the tone of the show. I like how everything looks. And even though I'm not as familiar with the game as you guys are, you can tell that care has been put into kind of keeping it, I don't know, just as the feel of that they've taken care to keep true to whatever it is. Even though I don't know what all the details are, it just feels like they're staying true to it. It just has that feel. So so far I'm really enjoying it. I mean, the Ghoul is a great character, but of course I love Walter Goggins. I have since Justified and Sons of Anarchy and all that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the creatures. The Gulper, is that what it's called? The one that
the big ass Gulper, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
the
those are really creepy. And
beginning.
Did it have fingers in its mouth?
Yeah.
Okay, that's really wild. Okay.
It's how they were dragging Lucy into the.
Yeah, it's like is that fingers? It's like, ew. I guess when you see it jump out, I guess it's kind of got like a human body and a fish head with finger things. Anyway,
it's an axolotl from hell.
It's amazing what radiation will do to you. Yeah.
Right. And I kind of like there's, you know, the big bad kind of sinister corporation over it all. I mean, I've watched some videos on what the different vault experiments are and stuff, which is pretty messed up.
Yeah.
Just from the ones that you've seen in the show, like they do a really good job about saying, and I guess we get to see Cooper Howard's kind of perspective there, but what you've seen 4 vaults in total now, the 3 that we're super familiar with, and what's the one they go to that
4
kind of 4, there we go. I thought it might be they're showing you those experiments in there too. Do you remember those experiments they were putting like in the basement that Lucy walked in on and all that? Sheesh.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it looks really good. I like kind of Lucy's they kind of have her evolve very quickly, but it doesn't feel like it's super fast. Like it all feels natural and like what she would experience from being in this sort of idealized Americana vault to what she has to go into, and that she's, you know, just jumps right into it and adapts really quickly and is willing to cut a guy's head off and it's shoot ghouls, you know, whatever.
I love her arc. Because she's coming from a place of I mean, she's basically being in a vault is the same as being in a cult, you know. I mean, you're following the overseer knows all, you don't challenge that, you don't and she's, you know, the cult follower that is getting the hard dose of reality. And the thing is that she has an innocence about her that you watch slowly decay through the whole season until it's just like jaded with like, this is the reality of reality now. Like, this is the reality of our world now, is that it is dog eat dog. And this is not at all. I think if nothing else, it's also a great commentary on how corporate culture is out of touch with real life, you know? And how it's not the same thing. It's apples and hand grenades, you know. And she's been trained to be the best middle manager there is, you know. She knows everything in theory, but as we all know, you know, it Murphy's Law dictates that the minute that, you know, shit actually happens, it's going to go wrong, you know. And just watching her get more and more jaded as the season goes. I think what breaks my heart is the scene at the bridge. I know it's a little later on, but the scene at the bridge, where they're just like where everybody's crossing cautiously, and of course the other guy's got to try to jump her, and they gun him down, and it's just like, why? Like, oh god, that reaches into my soul and strikes a chord, because it's just like everything could be fine if people just choose not to be shit.
Yeah,
but people choose to be shit,
Yep.
and as a result, people got to die. Yeah.
Well, we always say, kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
If you just kept it simple, it'd be all right.
Yeah. But you want to talk about like Kiss? That's Kiss storytelling though, because it's a really simple prompt, and it's just like A to B to C, and it's just so well executed that it just, oh god, rent my heart watching that scene the first time.
Well, like Sarah said, it is. It's quick, but it also is complete naturally. The progression comes completely naturally.
Doesn't feel forced. Doesn't feel like you're getting clubbed to death with a message. It's just such
an essential moment of just innocence lost.
Yeah.
I've been seeing this, but I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. Okay, I know these people.
At one point, it's just you can't anymore. Yeah.
And then it's just, that's it.
Yep.
She's changed. Next episode, she's getting her finger cut off. Like,
and get the new one put on, which anyway, that robot was great. So the medical robot. I'm just here. I'll fix you up and then harvest your organs.
Yeah.
Have a finger.
Matt Berry can read the phone book, and I would just listen to it all day long.
If Mr. Handy says New York City in the next season.
New York City. Yeah.
Can we get a new Vegas City instead, please? That might make me very happy.
Okay, yes, that's definitely a lampshade breaking the fourth wall, but it would be worth it. So good. Have you guys seen the just quick sidetrack on SciTrek? Who knew? But have you guys seen the video of Matt Berry and Peter Capaldi reading nasty letters back and forth to each other? It was like part of some sort of live reading series. It is hilarious. They read some sort of letter exchange between, I forget what the prompt is, but the delivery is just so fantastic. Oh god, it's like look it up. Everybody look it up if you get a second, because it is pretty friggin' funny. Let's see. I'm gonna Google it real quick. Just I want to remember
this first one.
I can't. Yes.
As a medical professional, I'm always looking for new and innovative treatments.
Now we're getting ads for ED pills here, thanks to David. Okay.
Great. Thanks, David.
Yeah. Letters Live. Oh yeah, this is it. This is so funny.
Okay. I think it might copyright us if we do it, but this is what we all need to search. This is your homework, everybody.
Okay.
You have Radical Wasteland homework this week.
Yep, Radical Wasteland homework this week is to watch this and have a good laugh. Yeah.
4 more episodes of Fallout and Matt Berry.
Yep. Can't go wrong with that. I'm also just impressed with who they've managed to. I mean, it's prestige television and it's Amazon, so they're just opening up the checkbook. But it is fun to see who they get to do stuff on this show and the different things. So
we're only getting Macaulay Culkin and half a dozen other like phenomenal performers this season as well. They're not.
Yeah, I'm excited for season 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Kumail Nanjiani being in there for being as one of the Matsons is gonna just no, this is gonna be
every time I see Kumail Nanjiani in something that just seems a little off from like his typical fun, like modern. He's a very modern comedy kind of guy in a lot of ways. But every time you see him in something, you're just like, I don't know if I'm gonna like him here. The last time I saw that was Only Murders in the Building.
Oh,
and about 2 episodes in, I was like, oh nope, he's got me. I'm there. I'm there.
Actually bummed that he wasn't back for season 5. So
yeah, honestly, he lives in the building. What?
Come on.
And he's kind of neighbors with Selena Gomez anyway. Mabel.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bring him back. We got Richard Kind again. Why not come on Johnny? Bring Richard Kind.
Stargate. Yes.
Yeah. Richard Kind is Mr. Stargate in a lot of ways. Not actually, but not far off.
Oh yeah. I like his character in there, but yeah.
He would be great in Fallout.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he'd
even that same character almost.
Oh, showing up with pink eyes?
Stargate.
Oh no, from Stargate.
Yeah.
The pink guy would be funny too, though. Combine the
I don't
two
know if I
characters
know what that
together.
is.
Going back and forth.
I don't know what that is. So I have to,
And it's like now it's like radioactive pink guy. You know.
In Only Murders in the Building, Richard Kine's character constantly has pink eye, but he's so bad about it, and he has an eye patch, and the eye patch he keeps switching it to other eyes, which gives his other eye pink eye, and he always constantly has it in one eye or the other, occasionally both. And it's a whole thing. It's a great bit.
And there was one glorious moment where he didn't have it at all in season 5.
Yeah.
And then in the next scene he's back. Like, God damn it. Yeah. Oh, it's hilarious.
It was so his Stargate character is Lucius, right?
Yeah, he's the one that like he feeds. Is he the one where he gives everybody in that town that herb or whatever that makes them like all the women like
and he's kind of just in charge.
It's
the most Richard Kine thing ever. It's so good.
Yeah.
Have you guys been following David Hewlett since they announced Stargate's back? He has had a lot to say. I've
seen his stuff pop up. I haven't. I watched a little bit of it, but I think he's doing like a live thing every day. I think he's doing this thing where he exercises for 30 minutes and then does like a live for 30 minutes. It's like motivating him to like exercise or something he's doing, I guess. I don't know.
Like if I'm going to get hired again, I need to be in shape.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
Yeah. Well, he says he's doing it just so he stays around for his son longer. That's what he says.
Well, that's also
yes. And it's a yes. And
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If he gets invited back, we'll see. He should. He's one of the ones you got to bring back. I mean, come on. Him and Shepard, at least. From Atlantis, anyway.
I still think Joe Flanagan is the best person to bring back first. But we'll see what.
Of course.
I don't know. We're gonna have so many.
You got to have him in the mix, like leading a team or something, at least. You know. But
honestly, I'm just so happy for you guys that it's finally happening. You know,
right.
like as
Greg's like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
No. But Sarah, I'm like Stargate to me is what Fallout is to you. You know, so but geek recognized geek and game recognized game, and honestly, like I just couldn't be happier. You know, so. I think it's great. I think that it's great for TV. If they keep going back, like God willing, they go back to like Monster of the Week format and shit like that, and maybe more actors get more opportunities again. Because the industry is still fucking dead right now. You know, it's for prestige TV where you have to have an Academy Award in order to get cast. You know, it's really hard at the moment.
We mentioned it. It would be so just heartwarming from our little sci-fi circle in the world for the big like Hollywood project to bring Hollywood kind of back on its feet in a lot of ways to be Stargate. Like if that ends up being the case, which knock on glass right here real quick.
Right.
Oh,
whatever that does.
Knock on wood, you're good. Knock on glass, save your ass. That's how I've always heard it.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, there we go. A new one. I learned something today.
Yeah.
There we go.
Technically, though,
you just made that bullshit up on the spot, didn't you?
No, I've heard that one for years. I don't know if the glass works though. Knock on wood is like an old thing because you're supposed to be knocking on it, and like a little wood fairy is going to come out and like
and
it's supposed to be magical. I don't think glass has any sand fairies or anything like that. We'll see.
You never
know. Sand, I don't know. The stained glass fairy. We'll see what happens.
If they offer you any food or ask for your name, decline both.
Right.
Unless it's really good sounding, right?
Yeah.
You know? So to try to get back from Fallout to Stargate to Fallout, Stargate is probably going to be a very international show when it comes back. And Monk asked a good question a minute ago. Does Fallout ever go international? London, Tokyo, Paris, etc.?
Nope. It's all been Southern California for now, and next season's going to be in New Vegas.
Yeah.
So
and all the video games are also based in the U.S. It's a very
they've done DC, Boston, California, and California, and then I think some of the non-main games are very non-specific about where they are. I think Tactics and Shelter. Oh, and then Appalachia for 76.
Aren't Brotherhood of Steel, Tactics and all that? Isn't that in Nevada, in northern Arizona?
It's either Nevada or California. Yeah.
Okay. There is Fallout London. There's a Fallout Mexico, but those are
fan-made games. Those are actually not put out by Bethesda or Obsidian or any of the official studios. Those are all fan made overlays, and Fallout London is actually considered to be the biggest of the bunch because it's basically a full-sized game in terms of hours of content, and you have to overwrite your entire Fallout 4 install just to run it. Most of the DLCs
kind of amazing.
This is a complete overwrite. Yeah,
it's crazy, and it's not because they don't want to do other mainline actual video game or series in other countries. It is because it's such intrinsically kind of that American idealism kind of. Yeah,
the show is incredibly jingoistic and tribal.
It's meant to exacerbate the American ideal system in a lot of ways, and it does. It shows what happens in a nuclear waste kind of aspect of all.
And you're dealing with cults and corporate fascism, and you're dealing with all kinds of very. It's rooted in the corruption of the American ideal and the American dream. It reminds me very much of BioShock in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. BioShock's almost like an international, even more kind of sci-fi version of Fallout sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's not even more sci-fi necessarily. It just leans into a different aspect sometimes as well.
Yeah.
Not Disney though, by any means.
If it was going to go international, where do we want it to go? China. I'd want to see China because China is the other end of the.
Oh, that would be interesting. Or Japan. Like, would they go back to like feudal Japan? That would be cool.
Yeah, but China was, the party that we were having World War III with, and I want to see what happened because one of the big unresolved questions.
They sent the bombs first.
Who shot first? And in season, and it's been theorized that it was the U.S. that China, like allegedly in the first couple of games, everybody's insisting that China shot first. In 3, though, there is a bomb that is not detonated that people are worshiping, because it's the god Atom, because that's what we go back to. That if you actually clip through the ground, you can see on the underside of the bomb, it has the Vault-Tec logo. So perhaps Vault-Tec caused the war. That's one of the big theories, and actually that they also offer some support for that in season 1 of the show, that they say and drop a few hints that really make it look like that Vault-Tec caused World War III in order to justify everybody being a part of the Vault system. So, I think you get a little bit of. I know that there's DLC for Fallout 3 where you're exploring Alaska, and you do run into remnants of Chinese intelligence and
Fallout 4 as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Fallout 4, you run into a few of these groups that, like there's a lot of stuff that actually like gives detail to the war in Anchorage and the front there, and how badly it was going for the U.S. at the time, and it really makes you question like who did what and the what now, and I would love to see if they were going to do an international Fallout game or Fallout show, I would love to see what it looked like from China's perspective. Because them being the other party involved in the fist fight here, the rest of the world is basically collateral damage. So that's my 2 cents. Yeah.
That's who I was looking for. I almost said Alfred Pennyworth. Where is it? Right here. David asked, "I want a ghoul from the UK in the Fallout series." Oh no. Yeah, his catchphrase is "cup of tea, governor." There is in Fallout 3 what Greg was just talking about in the wasteland where the nuclear bomb hasn't exploded. One of the big missions in that game is you can save that city, or there's a very wealthy man from the UK who has migrated over to the US in the wasteland, in the apocalypse, so on and so forth. His name is Alistair Tenpenny. That's why I almost said Alistair Tenpenny. I was like, it's not Pennyworth. I know it's not. Alistair Tenpenny. And at a certain point, he wants you to make his view outside of his very nice mansion much nicer by blowing up that city and not having to deal with all that at all. So you get to make some pretty dark comedic choices in that sense. They make it funny, but this is dark. And that I feel like as much as I would love China to actually get that perspective on it. I don't think
Mhm.
it's would be the right way to do it, because that loses all the air of mystery so quickly. I feel like that would be
Fair.
an over explanation kind of thing.
Well, unless
Mhm.
I mean, but then then if you're in China, you're dealing with what elements of state-run media are still there. Like you are dealing with,
Mhm.
you were dealing with the Great Firewall of China. So like, how much information? What was the story from their perspective? And there's always 2 points of view and then the truth. So I would be very interested to see something that could perhaps just show us the perspective of what was happening over there. And I'm sure that in their minds, the US shot first,
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And Voltec probably set it up that way.
Oh yeah, 100%. So, I think that they've got the opportunity to really muddy the waters even further if they did it over there.
Yeah,
But
both sides want to say the other one started it.
yeah, nobody wants to be like, we ended the world, like nobody wants to be
Voltec is essentially, I mean, just for modern audiences, Stark Industries in a lot of ways. They're playing both sides. They're selling to both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Who
100%.
actually shot first when they're both being coerced by the same group? Tim Kaine, the guy that actually started it all. Tim Kaine, remember, Interplay guy, the guy that started it all. He has specifically stated his original intent was that China shot first. Yeah, but he has kind of
he's soft walked that back since, because that was clearly like oh, they said we always thought China shot first, and then
it wasn't supposed to say it, but also and honestly, I do take that as kind of gospel. If Tim Kaine says something lore wise, if Bethesda hasn't specifically stated otherwise, I'm kind of like, it's either Todd Howard or Tim Kaine. Those are my gospel people for this franchise.
Yeah, until proven otherwise in a canon source. Yeah.
Yeah. And even if that is the case, it doesn't negate. What did Voltec do to make them do that? Because the U.S. had already beat them in a war at that point.
Although that we find out during the Fallout 3 DLC that the U.S. was losing and on the ropes.
Yeah.
So all the more reason for the U.S. to be like, fuck it,
It's that is one of those things that we kind of mentioned earlier. Is this isn't adding or detracting a whole bunch of things from things that we know. It is in addition to. Yeah, and it just makes the world, an already super rich world of 28 years of doing this, something that much richer. And it feels like those 200 years have passed by the time you actually start watching an episode, which is what it should feel like.
Yeah.
Mutually assured destruction.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Honestly, Australia would be fun to see, just because I want to see how close to
I thought of that. Like, what kind of the creatures you could have in Australia.
Everything in that country's already trying to kill you anyway, so yeah. Why the hell not? Yeah.
Those hunter spiders are now hunter spiders or whatever. Is that what they're called? Those giant spiders they have there?
Do not want. Nope. Do not want.
Those hunter spiders would actually be the worst things in the huntsman spiders, whatever. Yeah.
Huntsman spiders. That's what they're called. Yeah. Except for now they're like truly huge and killer.
Yeah. Jen and I are planning on going to Australia in 2027 right now, and that's I am like, okay, well, we're gonna go to Melbourne and we're gonna go to Sydney, and now or Adelaide. We're gonna go to Melbourne and we're gonna go to Adelaide, and I'm like, well, we're gonna hopefully not run into anything that's gonna try to kill us. But yeah, I'm intrigued, but I'm just like, yeah, everything out there is trying to kill you, even the kangaroos, So
oh god, just I one of my bucket lists in life is to see somebody not. I'm going to reword it just a little bit before I screw myself with my wording there. I want to see a kangaroo punch somebody. Not somebody punch a kangaroo.
Well, I want to hug a koala bear. That's on my bucket list.
Well, avoid the chlamydia, but yes, that sounds great.
Yeah.
They have, I heard about that. I remember that.
Koala bears do three things: they eat, they sleep, and they fuck. And that's and chlamydia actually is rampant throughout their species.
I believe it's like 90 to 95% of koalas have it.
Yeah.
And
Poor
doesn't
guys.
eucalyptus keep it at bay a little bit? They don't have like a bunch of bad diseases necessarily because of the
Right.
eucalyptus, I think.
Huh.
Because the eucalyptus almost gets them drunk in a way. The koalas
Yeah,
are
no,
such
it keeps them perpetually
animals.
stoned. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is another reason why they sleep so much.
Little what are they called? Tree bears, little hug bears or
Yeah, little
whatever.
drop bears.
Drop bears. There we go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Koala claws. Ooh.
Koala
Yeah, that's right.
Do you seen the death claw in the trailer for season 2, right?
Yeah. I just love that.
I saw it when you guys. I haven't watched the full. I saw what you guys were showing when you did the review of it or whatever, but I haven't watched it because I kind of want to rewatch all of season 1 first and then dive into the. So I've seen bits and pieces, but I haven't watched it.
Have you seen that big creature?
But yeah, I did in. I think I did see the skull of it. They show because I watched a review of season 1 or whatever, and they show a picture of one in there of just the skeleton of it. So I think what's his name? Hank? Is that the walks by one or whatever towards the end?
Right at the end there.
Mr. Twin Peaks himself, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which you talk about, you mentioned it earlier, Mr. Middle Management, and Lucy is kind of the epitome of what middle management kind of creates. Right. Everyone knows him from the past 200 years. He's been getting out and about in this wasteland, and I'm very excited to have Kyle MacLachlan more intrinsically involved in this season.
Yeah,
he's so good, and he's such a shitbird too sometimes, and I'm so excited to see it. I'm so excited to see it.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, it's been fun, but I gotta go. My daughter and I are going to a PWHL game. So
wow.
Get out of here.
Woo! Fun.
Yep.
That sounds dope. Who are you rooting for?
Seattle Torrent.
All right.
Of course.
Yep.
So hopefully they win. We'll see. I'm gonna try to do a reaction video after. But anyway, that's my other thing.
Lady hockey, y'all go follow.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. And I'm probably gonna try to do a way too late thoughts on Stargate coming out video.
I don't think there's never too late of that for the next few weeks, months, years.
Anyway, Anyway, it's fun hanging out with you guys. Sorry, I gotta go.
Good seeing you. Yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.
Okay. All right. Bye.
See you Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fun one right here. If you could cast one Stargate actor in the new season of Fallout, who would it be and in what role? Do you know the actors well enough to go off of that?
I mean, I know Richard Dean Anderson. And I'd love to see him.
I already mentioned the guy earlier. Joe Flanagan would be great.
Yeah, I'd see Richard Dean Anderson as just a survivor, you know?
Oh, he'd be the male equivalent to Ma June in season 1. The shop owner that Moldaver's working out of, and Lucy, all that kind of stuff, all the foot happens and ghoul attacks. Yeah. That would be fun. I don't know. He's too big to fit in the wasteland.
Well, I would love to see MacGyver in the wasteland. Not Richard Dean Anderson, MacGyver. Because you want to talk about a guy who's built to survive there. Oh, did I lock up or did you, Harris? Hey, chat, can you still see me or... Yeah, I think Harris stalled out. Oh, no. Oh, well, okay. I guess I got to host the show myself now. All right, chat. Well, let me ask you this. Which Stargate actors would you want to see on Fallout, and in what capacity? I said I want to see MacGyver. Harris says he wants to see John Shepard here, or Joe Flanagan on the show, and I think Joe would be a fantastic addition. What do you guys want? We'll give Harris here a minute to collect himself. Don't everybody jump in at once. Ronan Dex. Marina Picard. I love her. Dude, she is fantastic. I loved her on Firefly. Christopher Judge as a super mutant would be outstanding, 100%. Yeah. I also want to see Michael Dorn come in and at least voice a super mutant, but playing a super mutant would be pretty dope too. Yeah, Nightkin would work. Absolutely. Yeah, what else we got? Let me see who else was on Stargate, because again, this is not my strong suit. Kurt Russell. I mean, we could go all the way back to the movie. That's my limited amount of familiarity. Stargate actors. Okay, Richard Dean Anderson, Michael Shanks, Amanda Tapping. Who do I know? Christopher Judge. Don Davis. Don Davis as a member of Vault Tech would be outstanding, I think. Yeah. As I mean, sadly, he passed on in 2008, but he'd be great. Amanda Tapping. Where else are we streaming? That's a good question. Not sure. Yeah, he is dead. Yeah, but Don Davis, I did love all his work though. He had quite the body of work. I think he would have been outstanding in Fallout. Oh, Beau Bridges was on Stargate. Did not know that. Ben Browder, Claudia Black, Peter DeLuise, Dan Shea, Tony Amendola. All right. Well, the one thing about being an actor, Peter, is that it's not a job that you retire from. So an actor being 75 is not the end of the world. You know, you could get him being a guy who's just been able to survive out in the wild for a very, very long time. Corin Nemec, Peter Williams, Lara Sadek, Tom Macbeth, Bill Dow, Isaac Hayes. Didn't know that he was on the show. That's dope. Also sadly gone, and Louis Gossett Jr. Oh man, I always loved his work. Just in, Louis Gossett Jr. was in like every movie I ever saw from the 80s at one point. Katie Stewart, Christina Cox, Robert Picardo. I would love to see the Doctor, and John Delancey and Marina Sirtis. Oh wow, okay, that would be fun seeing some of them. Oh, you're back.
My laptop definitely didn't die on me.
Okay, I just took over the show for a minute.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it a need for attention that drives most actors? No, not at all. I think, I think that it's a calling being an actor because it's a shit lifestyle. It's just something that you feel within yourself, the need for human connection, the need to be a storyteller, the need to share experience, the need to explore emotion, the need to explore human connection, and do one of the most fundamentally human things in creating shared experiences. That's what drives actors. I think that there are a lot of those who get into it because they're artists, and I think that there are those who get into the industry because they've got pretty faces and know how to make friends and influence people, and that gets them pretty far. But I think the funny thing is that giving you're giving up so much privacy by becoming famous, and being famous and being an actor are two separate things. But the more fame that you get, the less privacy you get. So it is a very, very difficult balance to strike. But no, I don't think it's a need for attention. That's not what drives me. If that's what drove me to be an actor, then I would have quit being an actor a long time ago, and I would have become an influencer.
Just yeah, there are definitely a subset of folk that are like this, and there are a subset of people that start off like this, and a lot of those are pretty faces. Maybe an easy example is somebody like Cara Delevingne, who is a model first and foremost. She's beautiful, done her entire career based off all that, yada yada, made a great living, and then slowly started getting into acting, and now takes it pretty seriously. We don't mention Suicide Squad and the frickin' Enchantress, but outside of that, I mean, she's taken a career pretty seriously, tried to do a couple big blockbusters, mostly done indies that are more meaningful for her, And maybe another equivalent to that is a little more popular is even Zac Efron. Hey, you got all that. He might have started in with some good intentions as a kid, but also you get all that stardom young. You can tell the movies he picked when he was younger. He didn't really care about the art of it necessarily. It was much more like, hey, I'm that big, like, hot guy and all this now. And over time, you've seen him definitely lessen that. And he's still a great looking guy, top-notch shape. We all wish we could do that a lot of times, but
yeah.
Now you've seen a lot of the roles that he chooses are much more for him as a human being rather than what's going to give me the most attention. Let me do High School Musical 15 right now, like whatever it ends up being.
Some acting you take just for the paycheck.
Definitely. Glenn Close is a perfect example of that, where she says, I do one for them, I do one for me. Give me a blockbuster and let me do something that just gets me.
Yeah.
Another one. Jonah Hill.
Yeah. You know who I would love to see from Stargate Atlantis on Fallout? Getting back to the original question here, Mitch Pileggi and Robert Patrick. I would love to see both of them on Fallout. I think that they would both make great. Mitch Pileggi would be a great member of a Vault community, and Robert Patrick would be an outstanding raider. I think 100%.
Oh, Mitch Pileggi. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, who is that?
Well, I just Googled Stargate Atlantis actors, and he played Stephen Caldwell, and Robert Patrick played Colonel
Lockhart or something?
Yeah, Colonel Lockhart. Yeah.
I don't know how I remember that. He's not in it for very long, as great as he makes his moments. They would both be great. Another person. We need Walter. Walter would just be a funny, just wastelander in general. Walter is the guy that opens the Stargate for people in Stargate Command. He's the guy behind the computer. Him and Sergeant Seiler, who's kind of like the technician for the place, are two characters that very much
they'd be great working in the. Oh, it'd be funny is if it was his job to open the vault door. That would be chef's kiss. 15 chef's kisses, every single one, just over and over. Oh, it'd be perfect. And for Seiler to be a technician would be awesome. MGM, Amazon, y'all do both. Make it happen. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know Lou Diamond Phillips was on Stargate Universe. His niece was in a show at Studio Stage, and he sat at the front row one night. That was pretty fun. I was
LDP.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite working actors.
Yep.
Robert Carlyle.
Ming-Na, I would love to see her on Fallout.
And when she was in Stargate Universe, it was still when she was only being billed as Ming-Na and not Ming-Na Wen at the time. It's a very different role. She's not a fighter. She doesn't do any like cool action, really anything in there. She is a politician from Earth that is very much. Right. It's not her typical role, but she does great with it. Robert Carlyle, though, like was it Monk that said it a minute ago as well?
Yeah,
would be absolutely perfect. Where what's his name that played Wilzig? I can never remember it off the top of my head. But Robert Carlyle would be perfect to play an Enclave member or somebody that knows a little more than he should for it being such a apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
But Lou Diamond Phillips in absolutely everything. If you are not casting Lou Diamond Phillips in things, I'm mad at you. Whoever it is, I always want LDP in everything.
Yeah, Michael Emerson played Wilzig.
Michael Emerson, okay, because he's so good. I've never seen him in anything, and not it being phenomenal.
Yeah.
David has been getting me to watch Evil, and a couple other friends of mine have made me watch Evil, the show with him, Asif Mandeev, and Katja Herber, and Mike Coulter. Mike Coulter, of course.
Yeah, friggin' Luke Cage himself. Yeah.
It's so good. And Mike, you said Michael Emerson is his name?
Yeah, Michael Emerson.
Okay, I'm going to try to remember that because he's phenomenal.
Yep.
He doesn't have a whole bunch of time in Fallout Season 1.
No.
Every moment he's there. Well, obviously, he's a main character in a way, but...
You're never going to forget his face.
No! Just dangling his head around everywhere. Oh, no. I don't want you to drag my body around.
No,
cut my head off. It's like
that is like, that is just a total loss of innocence moment right there too, where she's like, okie dokie.
Yeah, that is the I think it's the reason the bridge scene can be a loss of innocence.
Yeah.
She would have had that kind of like internal freak out in the bridge scene if that hadn't have already happened.
Yeah.
And the only reason that I think she doesn't freak out as much with Will Zig right there is he just said my dad's name. And now I'm on that mission. Now I'm doubling down, She kind of gets it kind of, oh, he knows something. I knew he knew something. I should have been talking to him. What?
Mm-hmm.
And now let's get going. He knows my last name. He knows my dad. What is going on? It instead of being that 100% loss of innocence moment, it totally turns it on its head, and it's just so great.
Yeah. Also, every time they say Lucy McLean, all I can think of is John McClane's daughter in Die Hard. So yeah.
Is her name Lucy as well?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's purposeful. Yeah. That's totally purposeful.
Yep. And I'm like, okay, of course, badass action hero. Yeah, 100%. That clocks. The McLean family, absolutely. I think they spell it differently in Fallout.
Yeah. So. It's more McLean rather than McLean, which like Die Hard typically does. You have to cast Ella Purnell in A Very Die Hard Christmas in a couple years now.
Oh Lord, I'd love to bring her into Secret Santa at the end of the show. That'd be fun. Oh God, that reminds me. I actually have to start getting Secret Santas recruited for the end of the show. That's a whole thing. All right.
Monk asked a good question. Do you see the creators of the games using the show as canon in the next game? Yes, it is.
Oh,
like Todd Howard.
They can't ignore it. Yeah.
No, and the whole team has made sure very, very much so that it actually fits. And that's not just the film and television team. It is Bethesda.
Yeah.
Which in turn is Microsoft. And also Amazon. So they got the not just the ability to keep it in motion, but the cash flow to keep it in motion and keep everything tighten it. And even though the world is growing, like we keep mentioning, and I'm glad it's something we kind of have hounded on this podcast, is every bit of lore, while changing things, is an addition to rather than something taking away from. And like we said with Lucy, naturally kind of progressing throughout the season. So does the lore. The lore is almost a character in itself because it's so intrinsically tied to just your average Fallout fan. Your Fallout fans that have played the games can kind of tie in with Maximus, can kind of tie in with Lucy, kind of tie in with Cooper and the Ghoul. And also just the world. The world is its own character in Fallout. And they do a great job of showing it. One stupid, dumb, terrible line that's amazing. And it's the greatest line in the entire show, maybe, because of how dumb and stupid it is. It just embodies everything. Is when Maximus finally gets his suit of armor, in the power suit armor. And there's the chicken man and the other guy that just is on his little ranch or whatever. And Maximus walks up, saves the chicken guy from getting shot, essentially. And the other guy is, and excuse my French, of course, but the other guy is standing there. He's just like, he was fucking my chickens.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. It's dark humor and it's funny. It's kind of messed up in every which way, but it epitomizes just the whole. The chicken man is not a character, of course, but he's almost like representative of Fallout, just like the ethos of Fallout. That's
just how like twisted everything is. Like, what happens if society collapses and you're allowed to just express your base impulses? Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, this is actually a fun thing too. Oh, this show sounds like it has a lot of homework to understand, kind of like Marvel Phase 5. Not at all. You could literally jump into it.
Just watching it without doing without knowing the rest of the game. If you know the games, then you do get more out of the experience, but a lot of it's fidelity of everything. But because it adheres so strictly to the storytelling style and the vibe and the aesthetics, you really get it. You can watch the show and get a real sense of what the game is like, and still enjoy the show without having played the games. Yeah. So if you've played the games, you get more out of the experience for certain, but you can absolutely watch the show without ever having played the games. And a lot of people have picked up the games since watching the show, and it's caused a new renaissance for it.
Definitely. And even with the show, it doesn't like specify a single game. Yeah, we keep talking about New Vegas a whole bunch because this season is definitely going to tie into that. But
yeah, season
1's very much Fallout 1 and 2. And the hundreds of years later, past all their kind of happenings as well. It does a really good way, and it has a lot of Fallout 4 elements, and it gives us some Fallout 3 little enclave moments and things like that too. So there is bits and pieces of the entirety of Fallout in it so far, and it's done a really good job of. Hey, Sarah's been here earlier, and she's talking about she's never seen the games and played the games. Her husband has, and kind of gotten some kind of secondhand lore through that, but she's loving it so far. We talk about Fallout just as much after the streams, Sarah and I, as we do Stargate half the time, maybe not on the Stargate Outpost, but the rest of the week we tend to. You very much can enjoy the show without playing the games, as Peter's saying.
Yeah. So I got about 15 minutes left before I actually have to go deal with the rental down at the space. So, but
that sounds great.
Yeah, as we get closer here, steering back to the original topic of the episode, was there anything that jumped out of the first 4 episodes, in a rewatch now that was like, oh man, either we missed that completely, or that's totally setting things up for season 2, or like what jumped out at you in the rewatch?
Obviously, all like just those little details throughout the season. And one of the reasons I think I bring that up is, okay, obviously those little details added up to culminate in what they did in season 1.
Yeah.
But what little details did they put in there that we don't know they're going to culminate till season 2? Obviously, we've got Jonah Nolan writing, and a great other team of writers around him. This guy wrote The Prestige. This guy wrote the entire Dark Knight trilogy. This guy wrote...
Yeah, he's pretty good at building mystery boxes.
He's... I love me some J.J. Abrams every now and then. He kind of aggravates me a lot every now and then, too.
No, I mean, I lost faith in him after the reveals about... Well, not Trek. I enjoyed his Trek movies to a point, but I was like, I feel like his take on Star Trek were some of the best Star Wars movies ever made.
Yeah, and then he did Star Wars, and I just want to vomit.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
going to
come out and say I didn't like the new trilogy. I didn't. I thought I was grateful that Last Jedi actually took some bold stances and threatened to upend the table, and then immediately like the backlash was so severe that JJ came in and nerfed all
180.
of it. Oh, that's here's more nostalgia bait for you just to make you feel good. Here's your fucking dopamine hit. That was all it was. It was just it was a rehash of everything that came before and nothing new or interesting. And it broke my heart. Yeah.
Well, it is kind of funny you bring that up. And it is kind of it's not too similar, obviously, with Fallout. But it's not dissimilar in the way that a creative has come into a franchise that is huge. Obviously, I mean, Fallout's been going on for nearly 30 years now, but
yeah,
Star Wars got an extra couple decades on top of that. The approach is not necessarily dissimilar. Opening a few mystery boxes in a world that we already know. But the handling has been done with so much more care from Fallout and Amazon.
100%.
And I don't think that's what any of us expected. Obviously, it's apples to oranges again here, but
Amazon does orange check to do it right, and then you got a group of people behind the show who understand it and who appreciate it and who respect the source material and have the resources necessary to depict it well in live action, which is not cheap.
No,
you look at everything that they got to do. The production design budget is got to be through the fucking roof, so to be able to do it right, but Amazon gave them the ability to do it right. And then you got the guys that did it, that understand the point of the story that they're telling. It's not just the aesthetic, it's the why, you know, and they really like nailed it down from all corners. They nailed the visual and then they nailed the spirit of it. And that's really, really tough, you know, because I mean, I think I look at other video game adaptations, and of course you could go all the way back to the Super Mario Brothers movie. And I'm sorry, what the fuck fever dream was that? You know? Yeah.
Fun one, but not great.
That was not a Mario Brothers. Yeah, what the hell was that? You know, so you know, and there are a lot of video game adaptations to movie and to TV that haven't worked. So, you know, believe me, I held my breath until I watched the pilot, and I was like, oh, not only do these guys get it, but they got the budget to do it right. And that right there. And I'm so glad that they did a TV show instead of a movie, because, you know, this is one of my gripes with trying to do Dungeons and Dragons as a movie.
Oh yeah.
It's too
Which
big.
is a lot of fun. But
it's too big. Do D&D as a American Horror Story style anthology series where every season's a different mini campaign, you know?
Ooh.
Like, hire me to write this shit. Sorry. Like, I have a whole thing ready to go. Like, let's fucking do it. But and then do 6 seasons, and then you have the movie that culminates you know, all the plot threads in like the final fight, you know, or it's like the lead up to the final encounter. Or I mean, there's so many different ways to do it, but you can't encapsulate a whole storytelling universe in just 2 hours. Like, I feel like this is also where Lord of the Rings fell short. Like the Hobbit fell short, I should say. Well, no, the Hobbit fell short because they were getting too much blood from a stone.
They added too much into that, actually, which was just studio BS.
Monk, I'm with you. I enjoyed Last Jedi. I hated the fact that, and it had its problems. Do not get me wrong; it was far from a perfect film. But out of the new trilogy, it is my favorite, and it is because they took some big bold swings, and it just pisses me off how JJ immediately like retconned everything or undercut everything with the last movie. Yeah.
My favorite of the trilogy is Colin Trevorrow's Duel of the Fates script.
Oh, I got to read that.
That's about it. And the Rise of Skywalker stuff ended up having a bunch of good stuff conceptually, and it just threw it all out the window. It is the worst. Last Jedi, while is the worst in the Skywalker saga since, and it is the worst in the actual like Skywalker lore aspect of it.
Sure.
It's easily the best film. Rian Johnson's the only one that actually was like, okay, at least I have something interesting I want to do with it. It was stupid. That's not what you do with Luke Skywalker. Duh. No. You don't. I don't care how much you want to make people go, oh, I didn't expect that. You don't rip their fucking hearts out after 50 years. You don't do that. That's pretty simple. And he should have thought maybe twice about that, you know?
Yeah.
But The Last Jedi, if it was anybody besides Skywalker's, is maybe one of the best Star Wars movies. It's right there with Rogue One and the original trilogy, I think, and even Revenge of the Sith, if it wasn't Skywalker's doing that. And maybe if Leia or whoever would be in lieu of Leia didn't, you know, live in the vacuum of space without a helmet for a little bit and just forced lived for a little bit there. Well,
the Force is whatever the writers want it to be. You know,
this is true. Stranger Things happen, huh?
Yeah.
Now that Stranger Things is literally just modern Star Wars. But I think all of this, to kind of tie it back in a little bit, is what we've mentioned a few times, and it doesn't go on, it doesn't fall on deaf ears or anything, but you know, we mention it, and it's just kind of something that we don't sit with as much, because we do have an embarrassment of riches with Fallout. All of these different franchises have all this intrinsic lore that people, of course, dive into, love. There's dozens of YouTube channels on all these different things that people make actual livings off of every year. And this is just not even secondhand, third, fourth hand in a lot of ways. Fallout is one of the very, 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 very few that have taken that painstaking time and effort. And I know we keep saying painstaking time and effort, yada, yada, but it shows. It shows in Fallout.
Yeah. And when you're dealing with epic prestige television, that's like a lot of that's a lot more work than I think anybody gives credit for.
And it's a shared vision, not just between Jonathan Nolan and his team. It's Jonah Nolan and his team, the actors and the whole crew. MGM and Amazon. And Bethesda, Microsoft, and Fallout in general themselves. It is it's the exact opposite of what, and we're harping on the Disney Star Wars trilogy right now, and it's because there was no shared vision, and that is the most obvious thing that's been people's biggest gripe since The Last Jedi. Like, you could just tell that, oh, well,
they didn't talk to each other.
Yeah, nobody talked to each other right there, and then Rise of Skywalker completely confirmed that. It's so we don't even think about how rewarding it is as a fan base from Fallout, but I'm glad that Fallout has grown so much over the past year and a half because of the TV show, because whether we naturally think about and appreciate it, we're just gushing and gooing and just having the best time with it. And it's awesome to be afforded that as a fandom, where every other fandom, and we're trying to like make sure with Stargate that, okay, we don't want gatekeepers. We don't want anybody to be gatekeepers. We want this fandom to not be Doctor Who, Star Wars, Star Trek. We have that opportunity.
We want it to thrive, and we want people to just come in and enjoy stuff. Yeah.
And think critically, of course, but just. And it sounds cheesy and dumb, but be simply respectful of your peers, typically, and that's just doesn't happen in Fallout. I mean, excuse me, in Star Wars, Star Trek, and Doctor Who anymore. And obviously, we want Stargate to kind of lean towards that Fallout kind of thing. And I think MGM and Amazon are really going to do that, especially after learning the lessons they have with Rings of Power.
Yeah.
And with Fallout, because Fallout has done the opposite of Rings of Power. It's shown Rings of Power should outdo Fallout 10 times out of 10. It's Tolkien. It's Tolkien. Like, come on. But that effort wasn't necessarily put there. They made it look pretty. Really pretty.
Yeah.
The story's shite. Sorry. It has some good elements, but it just JD Payne and Patrick McKay were not the right people for it. They didn't. Not only were they not willing to take the time and effort to truly put everything in there, it just, I know it's the closest thing to the Silmarillion kind of will get, but that's a consolation prize, if anything, because they're just bullet pointing the Silmarillion. They're not actually taking the time to give you the intricate details of, hey, Tolkien didn't write about this, but he alluded to this, this, and this. How can we form that into this beautiful, like, well-told story?
How can we fill in the gaps? Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Bullet point. Check this. Woohoo. They have a great cast. The cast they've hired is freaking solid, and they just don't do enough with them. It's screwy, and obviously we want the best for Stargate, and I think Fallout is the litmus test for them. Rings of Power to Fallout, and they did the exact opposite what they did with Rings of Power to Fallout, and the success has shown.
Yeah,
and accolades have just been tossed at them for the past year and a half, and rightfully so. We're a little frustrated with Fallout Day right now, but hey,
and that's
the new fans aren't.
But big credit to Amazon for stepping up and making the Fan Fest tremendous.
The trailer dropped right after, and for it to be as good as it was kind of like, okay.
Yep.
This is a consolation prize, but it's the best consolation prize we could get right now, which is kind of cool. And then the fan celebration, like you said, just it's really nice to see Bethesda and Amazon and the big fish not eating the little fish and saying, all right, you're a goldfish, grow a little with us. The ocean's big.
Yeah.
And kind of off track, kind of on track all at once.
Yeah, a little bit. All righty. Well, hey, this is where I got to hop off. So.
All right. Well, we are that hour 15 into this thing.
Yep.
Any housekeeping that you would like to announce? I know Frosty Fest is coming up. Are y'all doing a live streaming kind of version of that we can kind of get folks prepared
a couple
for?
of the shows will be streaming. Go to frostyfestla.com. I've made notes of which of the shows have streaming. There's a show called Cindy Lou Who that's like the Grinch 20 years later, from Cindy's perspective. So that's going to be streaming live. Tickets are up for that. And then A Very Toily Christmas is a show about a roll of toilet paper puppet, and they're doing their song and dance Christmas special. So that's gonna be pretty dope. And yeah, I think those are the only 2 streaming shows that we have for the festival this year. But more will be adding it. I would love to do Die Hard on stream, but unfortunately, the guys who we licensed the show from aren't making the streaming rights available. So it is what it is.
That makes sense.
Yep.
What about for those that celebrate Festivus?
Oh, the airing of the grievances will take place as scheduled.
Oh, as always.
Yep.
They have to.
Yep. All righty, guys. Well, hey, we will see you here next week while we talk about the back end of season 1. And yeah, happy holidays to everybody who's getting into the season here. Happy holidays to all y'all. And we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. See y'all Sunday for Sci-Fi Sundays and Monday for Farscape Patreon, and a little Stargate Outpost this coming week. Besides that, y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy that Thanksgiving holiday, y'all. Adios.
Adios.